Appeals, please listen to the rules and procedures that will follow for tonight's meeting.
Good evening, and welcome to tonight's meeting of the Town of Babylon Zoning Board of Appeals. The following is the procedure that will be followed tonight. The matters will be called in the order they appear on the calendar, with adjourned matters being called at the end of the regularly scheduled matters. Matters cannot be heard prior to their published scheduled time. When your matter is called, please submit the affidavit of posting to the secretary and proceed to the podium and give your name and address. The chairperson will then swear you in and read into the record information we have from your application, comments from various town departments, and any correspondence received on your application. The chairperson will then ask you to make whatever presentation you wish to make to the board. After you have made your presentation, the board will ask whatever questions the board deems appropriate, and then we will ask for comments from the public. If you wish to speak for or against an application, we ask that you wait until you're acknowledged. Come forward, give us your name and address, tell us where your property is in relation to the property that's in question tonight, and then please direct your comments to the board, not the applicant or the applicant's representative. We have to keep a record, and we cannot do that if there are people talking over each other or cross conversations. If someone has spoken for or against an application, and they have said exactly the same thing that you wish to say, it will have the same force and effect in the record if you give your name and address, are sworn in, and say that you join in those comments. If you have anything additional to say, please don't hesitate to do so, but keep in mind that you will be given only one opportunity to speak. After the public has spoken, the board may ask the applicant to come back to answer any questions that may have come up as a result of the public comments, or for the applicant to summarize. When the applicant comes back to answer any additional questions, if that happens, that does not start a second round of public comments. Once the matter has been heard, various things may occur. The board may decide the application immediately. It may reserve decision. If the board reserves decision, that does not mean the matter is approved or denied. It just means that the board needs more time to decide, may want to go out and look at the site again, or might want to review the documents and testimony further before making a decision. In either event, the applicant will receive the board's decision in writing shortly after the board makes its decision. If the application is approved, that does not mean that you can then go ahead and start construction or whatever it is that you requested from the board. You will have to wait for the building permit to be obtained from the building department before your go-ahead. On some occasions, the matter may be continued for another night. If it is continued, in most cases it will be for the submission of documents, a new survey, new plans, or something of that nature. If that's the case, no one needs to come back on the new date. The documents will be submitted and no further testimony will be taken. On rare occasions, a matter may be continued for future testimony. If that's the case, then people would have to come back to testify. If matters are adjourned at an open meeting on the scheduled date of hearing, no further notice need be given unless specifically required by the board on the date the adjournment is granted. 3 rules that may affect your ability to proceed tonight. 1. If the sign was not posted for 10 days, we cannot hold the hearing tonight. 2. If you commence this proceeding while you own the property, but no longer own the property, and you are here now to continue with the application, you will need either the written consent of the new owner or the new owner to be present for the hearing. This situation could come about if you sold your house or building, money was held in escrow at closing for a certificate of occupancy or permit, and you're here tonight to clear that up. Lastly, if your application is a commercial application and it's other than a renewal, and there is more than one tenant in the building, then you need your landlord to be here. Is there any applicant that has any difficulty with those situations and would need an adjournment tonight?
Is there anyone who would need an adjournment? Please rise and join the board in the Pledge of Allegiance. First application is application 24-112 of Gregory Carrastro and Paul Greenhow, property located in Amity Harbor. Name and address for the record, please.
Andrew Braum, B-R-A-U-M, 1924 Belmore Avenue, Belmore, New York, 11710.
For the record, we have a Planning Division memo dated July 10th, 2024, Environmental Control memo dated July 15th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Jack Allison Hall dated July 15th, 1997, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs on the site plan by Andrew S. Brum, dated March 11, 2024.
okay. Would you like to tell us about the application?
Yeah, good evening. My name is Andrew Braum. I'm an engineer, and I'm representing Greg Carrastro, who's here in the audience this evening. We're here to seek approval to put in a proposed 12 by 24 pool with a patio surrounding it. The pool meets and exceeds the zoning requirements. We are not seeking a variance for the pool itself, but as a result of the proposed pool, a variance was triggered for exceeding the building area. And the property has an existing pergola that has been on the property for 10 to 12 years. When you add up the house, the deck, the proposed pool and patio, as well as the pergola, that's what resulted in the over the permitted building area. As well as the pergola does not meet the required side yard and rear yard setbacks. Greg has lived in the house now for about 30 years. About 15 years ago, he applied for a variance for a second floor addition and the deck that you see there, and now would like to enjoy a swimming pool in his backyard. As I mentioned, the pool itself doesn't need a variance. It meets and exceeds all the requirements for safety. And I know there was a note in the planning board that there's a shed, a Rubbermaid shed, that was not noted on the site plan that appeared in the photographs. And the homeowner has no issue if this board is compelled to approve the application, that that shed be removed, because that is the intent, that it's not going to be there after the pool is installed. Does the board have any questions for me?
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Dellavecchia.
Good evening, how are you?
Hi.
Is it possible to move the pergola 6 feet from the property line?
Well, if you look at the photographs of it, the condition of it is not such that it would easily be moved, and there's also some decking below it. So the answer is, of course, it can be moved. We would be willing to agree that if the pergola is ever taken down and put back, that it would be put back in a conforming location per the planning memo, if that would be acceptable to the board, as well as agreeing to never enclose it as well.
Okay. And you agree to also keep all the patios, decks, and pavers 2 feet from all property lines as well?
Of course, if you look at the site plan there, they're well off of those
Okay.
measurements, yes.
Any further expansion of it would also require more required relief as
It
well?
would require them to come back in front of the board, and I believe this is it, at least for the next 15 years.
As long as you agree to those conditions, I have no further questions, Mr. Yep. Yeah, you agree to it.
We do agree to that, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion to approve application 24-112 with the 3 conditions: that the pergola not be further enclosed, and that if it is ever to be taken down, it be rebuilt in a conforming location, and that the plastic shed also be removed.
Second.
and that all decks, pavers maintain a 2-foot setback.
Favor? Aye. Thank you. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
Next application is application 24-105 of Doreen Gibson. Property located in West Babylon. Name and address for the record.
John Tufel, professional engineer, 707 Route 110, Farmingdale. I have a photo I'd like to submit from the board, which shows, for the board, which shows the front of the house where the egress well is located, as well as a picture of the well itself. Thank you.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 10th, 2024, environmental control memo dated July 16th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by William Simmons, not dated. Tax map acting as an area map, and
All right. We have 5 photographs and a site plan by Norman C. Locke dated June 23rd, 2023.
would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, thank you. I'm here tonight with Michael and Doreen Gibson, who are the property owners. And as we said, they're seeking a variance for front yard setback to maintain an existing basement egress window well. The zone is Residence C, where a 30-foot front yard setback to the egress window well is required. And we are seeking to maintain the existing 26.1 feet. The egress window well was installed about 3 years ago by a contractor who assured Ms. Gibson that no permit was required. It is below grade and well screened from view from the street by existing shrubbery. In fact, you can't see it from the street. You know, it's even with the grade and behind those shrubs. Its current location is the only available spot for its installation, as the rear of the house has 2 adjoining crawl spaces and an interior basement drain pipe going along the back wall of the basement on the inside. The right or west side of the basement adjoins the attached garage, so obviously we couldn't put an egress window well there. And the left or east interior basement wall is blocked by existing HVAC equipment, hot water heater and such, and a basement wall niche, which is a little feature in the finished basement, which we have an application right now for the town. That's why we're here when we applied, to legalize the finished basement. So for these reasons, we're asking to maintain this existing basement egress window well. And obviously, as the board knows, it does increase the safety of anybody in the basement, that they can escape in case of an emergency. And this completes our case. If the board has any questions, we'd be happy to answer them.
Okay, thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Correcchio.
Good evening. It's a finished basement, you say?
Yes.
It is. Is there a kitchen or a bathroom down there or anything to that effect?
I don't believe there's, I know there's no kitchen. Is there a bathroom? No bathroom
No
either.
bathroom. So it's going to basically be used for storage?
Yes, that's what it is.
Storage only?
Yes.
Okay. And so we agree to storage only as per your plans, and you're going to maintain that landscaping in front of the window as suggested?
Yes, it looks very nice, and we wouldn't want to change it. No way.
Okay. I have no further questions, Mr. Chairman.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I make a motion to approve application 24-105 with the conditions that the basement used for storage only and that the landscaping is maintained in front of the egress window.
All in favor?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next application is application 24-110 of Jacqueline and Salvatore Falcone, property located in Lindenhurst. start.
All right.
Name and address for the record, please.
No problem. Sal Falcone, 378 Heathcote Road, Lindenhurst, New York, 11757.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Say that again?
Do you affirm to tell the truth? I'm sorry.
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 10, 2024, environmental control memo dated July 16, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Louis Tranman dated December 5th, 1995. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, is 10 photographs and a site plan by Charles D. Giovanna dated February 29, 2024.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Sure. To keep it simple, small house, big family, we need to expand, so we're just pushing out the front basically to cover our porch and the cape. And then our garage, we're pushing back 10 feet to become level with the house, the rear of the house, and then we're just gonna build on top of that and dormer the front. So right now we have a rear dormer, so we wanna dormer the front and then dormer on top of the garage to keep it simple at that. And then it will be, I think, 5 bedrooms and 2.5 bath with no apartments.
Okay, I'll turn the hearing over to Ms. Montez.
Hello, how are you?
Yep, how are you?
So what is the need for the addition?
We need more bedrooms upstairs.
Okay.
We don't have enough room for all of our kids. That's all.
So you're going straight up?
Yes. We are going out a little bit behind the garage,
Okay.
but that's also just going to be a bedroom up there to add a bathroom. That's all.
No additional questions.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Good, good.
Yep.
Go.
I make a motion to approve application 24-110.
Second.
All in favor? Well, you're taking right over.
Thank you.
Good luck.
Have a good night.
Nice work. She knows what's coming next, so you just, you know.
It's already engraved, yeah.
All right, next application is application 24-111, Dimitri DePalo, property located in Deer Park. Name and address for the record, please.
John Tufel, a professional engineer, 707 Route 110, Farmingdale.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 10th, 2024. Environmental control memo dated July 15th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. Survey by Jason Lettingham dated November 15th, 23. Tax map acting as an area map. And
Chairman, there's 4 photographs and a site plan by Norman C. Locke dated March 4, 2024.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application?
Yes, thank you. I'm here tonight with Demetria DiPaolo, owner of 11 Woodland Avenue, Deer Park, who is seeking variances to construct 2-story and 1-story additions, an egress window well, a rear covered porch and open deck, and a swimming pool. We're withdrawing the requested side and rear yard variances for the existing shed in the southeast corner of the lot, as none are required since the required 2-foot side and rear yard setbacks are provided. So again, that shed in the southeast corner of the lot, we're just going to leave where it is, and it meets the setbacks, so we don't need any variance for that. We were going to move it before, but it's
So we
decided...
could eliminate those two variances.
Right, for the shed, right. That's just going to stay where it is, and it meets the 2-feet requirement on both side and rear. Yes, it is. It is. It's
8.2 by 11?
yeah, exactly. It's less than 100. 8.2 times 11.4, so it's like 93, I think, or something like that. Just less than 100. So tonight we are seeking permission to diminish the front yard setback from 30 feet to 29.9 feet on Woodlawn. Diminish the distance from the south yard side setback from 12 feet to 11.2 feet for the egress window well. Diminish front yard setback from 30 feet to 24.3 feet on Claremont Street for a 25 square foot, 1-story addition, a very small addition. Diminish rear yard setback from 40 feet to 26.5 feet for a covered porch with an outdoor kitchen. Increase the total building area from 20% to 29.4%, which is over by 1,057.8 square feet. Diminish the distance to the east rear lot from 6 feet to 5 feet for an in-ground swimming pool. Diminish the distance to the front street line on Claremont from 40 feet to 39.2 feet for the pool. And those are all in connection with the work we're proposing. As we said, the 1- and 2-story additions, the pool, etc. The zone is Residence B, and as the board realizes, this is an irregularly shaped corner property with 2 front yards, which complicates compliance with the zoning codes. Even so, we are only requesting 1/10 of a foot of relief from the required 30-foot front yard setback on Woodlawn and providing 24.3 feet of setback from Claremont. The requested relief for the south egress window well and north pool setback from Claremont are each less than 1 foot, which we feel is minimum. We'd also like to point out that the proposed swimming pool accounts for 5.1% of the requesting building area relief, as opposed to it being an above-ground structure or habitable space. So a lot of that is just for the pool. A lot of that lot coverage variance is just for the pool. The proposed 26.5-foot rear or east setback to the proposed covered porch is due both to the irregular shape of the lot as well as the corner property situation. It also maintains an adequate distance from the rear covered porch to the pool. Right now you can see it says 5.7 feet on the site plan. We like to keep that, as wide as we can for the children in the pool and running around and things like that, just to give the most space we can. And that basically completes our case.
Thank you. Turn the hearing over to Mr. Perrecchio.
Good evening.
Hi.
The 2 variances, number 8 and 9, are for the pool, and I mean, they're minimal variances, but you could eliminate those variances if you just move the pool 1 foot. From 6 feet, just put it in conforming location to 6 feet.
Right. Well, the problem is, then again, we're just trying to keep that 5.7 feet between the covered, the covered.
Is there a need for that covered porch to be so far out?
Well, with the kitchen there and everything, it's.
And if you cut that back 1 foot, you could put the pool in a conforming location and eliminate 2 more variances.
Well, if we.
We're eliminating the shed variances, 6 and 7. We could eliminate 8 and 9 if we put the pool in a conforming location and just cut back the covered porch a little bit.
Yes, the covered porch now is 12 feet from the back of the house. So your idea is to make it 11 feet from the back of the house and move the pool over 1 foot.
Right.
Can I explain that to the owner?
Yeah, the rear yard setback would be better for the neighbor
Okay, sure,
also.
sure. They're suggesting that we'll make this What's that?
I don't have a covered porch right now.
Right, yeah, it's proposed.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what, so in other words, they want to move the pool 6 feet from the property line, and this would be a little bit shorter. Instead of 5.7, it would be 4.7 feet. So, and then we're gonna maybe make this, instead of 12 feet, 11 feet.
Just a porch area?
Right, exactly.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay. Yeah, she doesn't have a problem with that, so we could, yeah.
So we
if you-
could eliminate 4 variances thereby with a new set of plans showing that the pool is in a conforming location, the shed is remaining in its location, and we're gonna cut back the shed, the covered porch, by 1 foot.
Right, so instead of 12 feet, it would be 11 feet.
Correct. So we all agree to that?
Yes, that's very reasonable. Thank you
Okay,
very
the
much.
other question I have is this, the egress window. If this basement is for storage only, why do we need an egress window?
I'm sorry,
The basement,
it's a finished basement, so we have the egress window.
it's a finished basement,
Yeah, I believe so, yes.
so it's not...
Finished
As per your
storage.
plans, it said it's for storage only.
Right, it's finished storage, right. It's just, this time, but for the time being, it's going to be storage. If in the future they want to change it to a recreation room or some
Is
kind of
there
other
a
space.
bathroom or a kitchen or anything?
No, nothing, no, just an empty room. And if we wanted to change the use, we would talk to the building department, and, if we had a file.
Because it's, basement apartments are not
Oh,
permitted.
right, we know that, yes. They have no intention of
And living
putting-
area, again,
I have
Putting
no
it up.
intentions of bringing anyone into my home. This
you have to,
locally requires a lot
give
of
me name and
space.
address if you're going to speak.
Either he has to talk for you, you gotta
Oh,
get sworn
sorry.
in.
No, but, oh, yeah, go ahead. You can
No,
just,
I want to ask. Do you require new plans for this?
They might. All right. Well, we can talk to John about that. But, okay, great. So, thank you. Then we can make, we'll change that back 1 foot, 12 foot, 11 feet, and then move the pool over to conform, and that'd be great. Thank you
Is there
very
any,
much.
anything we could do with that egress window? Can we move it, or could we eliminate it, or, you're going to use it for storage, right?
That's, yeah,
Eventually,
but,
you say you may want to convert it into a recreation
well, in the
room.
future, we will file an application. That's why, as long as we're doing the work, and, it's always nice to have an egress. It's only, I think it's supposed to be 12 feet by code, and it's 11.2.
Okay.
So it's not that much relief, we feel. It's only 0.8 feet.
All right, I can understand that. You do agree to the basement, the conditions that the basement is just for storage only? There'll be no stairs to the second-story balcony?
Yes, that's correct.
As per the planning memo, and the rear covered porch not be further enclosed. That's the 3 conditions. We're also going to amend these variances. Yeah, we'll get a set of revised plans, and then we'll amend the 4 variances on the planning memo.
Okay, well, thank you very much, okay.
All right?
Okay,
Great, thank you very much.
okay,
Any other
thanks.
questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay, we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. We'll keep the record open for a set of new plans, and then we'll move on.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
Next application is 24108, dated July 10, 2024, property located in North Babylon. Name and address for the record, please.
The address of the property or my address?
Your address.
Okay. My name is Helen Bogdanos. I'm a structural engineer. My office is 121 New Bridge Road, Hicksville, New York, 11801.
Okay, do you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 10, 2024, environmental control memo dated July 16, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Vincent Tanamino, dated April 12, 2021, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs in the site plan by Helen Bogdanos,
Okay.
dated February 21st, 2024.
What would you like to tell us about the application?
Okay. We requested variances in connection to the following. Permission to diminish front yard setback from 30 feet to 27.6. Second, diminish total side yards from 25 to 20.4, which was an existing condition. And number 3, increase height of the garage door from 7 to 8 feet. The applicant is proposing a second-story addition directly above the existing dwelling and a new front portico. The existing dwelling has a conforming front yard of 30.3. The portico, with the 10 feet by 3 feet total in 30 square feet, it created the front yard variance. The planning department has no objection to granting this relief. I submitted my plans without the portico, and it became an architectural issue. So they told me to come back and put the portico because it makes the house more appealing. And that's where we are with the front portico. The variance requested number 2 to diminish total side yards from 25 to 20.4 is an existing condition. Okay, that's about it. Now, the planning board, of course, complained about the number of bedrooms, but the owner gave certification that he's a young guy, he's getting married, and he's going to move into the house. For now, it's a rental. The planning board requested for him to certify that it's not a rental and that he's going to live there. I don't know.
Currently, right now, it is a rental?
Yes.
He has a
They
rental
bought the
permit?
house 4 years ago, 3 years ago. They bought it. They don't live in the house.
They don't live in a house.
No, they
So he has,
went.
does
to
he have a
get-
rental permit?
Yeah, it doesn't.
He doesn't.
When I got the job to represent them, they're supposed to submit for permit, rental permit, and then that's the whole story started.
When were you hired?
About 2 years ago.
2?
Yeah.
And they didn't have a rental permit then?
He goes, no.
No.
They still don't.
It was contingent on this variance. They know about it, the town is aware of that.
So at that time, the renting should have stopped when it
Oh,
was
that I
denied?
don't know. I didn't know that.
You thought the rental permit can be
I
denied?
didn't do the rental permit. I didn't do anything. I just was hired to do the second floor and the garage.
2 years ago?
Yeah.
Okay.
I had no idea. The owner probably filed for this. I had no idea.
Okay. But now that you're
I'm involved.
you're involved, you do have to relay this message to them. No more renting because it's not legal to rent at this moment. However, you said that they are interested in moving back into the property. Yes.
He gave an affidavit to the planning board.
Okay, that's a start. That's a good
That's a start.
I'll take that. How many bedrooms in total is proposed?
6.
6. 3 upstairs, 3 downstairs?
Yes.
I don't think that.
It's not 6 upstairs?
Total 6.
Total 6.
That's why the planning board made them give the certification that they're going to live there. They're not going to rent anything. And that it can be approved on that contingency, as far as I know. Oh, I'm sorry, yes. I'm sorry, my mistake. Yeah, the plans are here, yes. I was reading the comments and I got distracted.
We're gonna have 9 bedrooms.
Yes. Yes, my plans.
9 bedrooms, no rental, and a growing family.
It's a growing family because, as you know, Indians live together, parents and child. I don't know if they're going to do parent-child in the future, but they usually live together, the whole family. So I don't know what to say. Eh?
How many rentals are in the existing dwelling right now?
One.
One?
As
What
far
about
as I
this-
know, I went
What
there,
about
yes.
the finished is there a finished basement also?
They have a finished
Is there a
basement.
kitchen and a bathroom in the basement?
No, no, nothing.
Nothing.
It's a bathroom in the basement, which I was told by the planning board to remove the shower. It's on the drawing.
So there is a bathroom in the basement?
Yes.
Sorry, Shawnees.
Again, when I got the job, they were telling me that when they bought the house, the previous owner told them that the basement was legal. And when I filed the plans, it wasn't, so I had to do it.
The basement was legal to rent?
No, legal, finished.
Oh, just legal finished?
So I tried to legalize by
What's
making.
in the basement now?
The basement is an open space, exactly, you see the plans, and it has a full bath. But for the suggestion of the planning board, they said to remove the shower. That's the condition. If you read the condition on the last page, they have it.
So it's a 2-piece bathroom.
Excuse me?
It's a 2-piece bathroom in
It
the
is a
basement.
3 now, three.
going
But
to
I'm removing the shower because that was the advice of the planning board.
You're not gonna have a kitchen on the second floor?
No,
1 kitchen, first floor only.
only. The son is going to get married, according to what they're telling me, and they're going to live all together. Now they live in Hicksville, and they're going to move there. So that's
Are there
the plan.
relatives, are there relatives that are renting the premises now?
No,
Is-
they're just tenants.
Just tenants?
Yeah.
How many people?
I don't know. I guess it's a family. It's a full family. They're using the basement too. It's together. They have access to the basement.
How big is the family that's gonna be moving in, the owners?
Big family. 3, 4 kids, I don't know. It's a big family. But you know, Indians, they live a lot of people together. That's why they want the bedrooms. But it's up to you to decide, not me.
So they live on their own right now in Hicksville, and they're all gonna move together in this one property?
Yeah, because the son is going to get married.
9 bedrooms is too excessive.
Yeah, but can I ask something with all respect? My variances are not so detrimental. Is there any rule that they cannot have so many bedrooms? I mean, I'm asking, I'm not saying against what you decide.
No, no,
but-
there's no rule against how many. The problem is you guys already circumvented what we had established. It was supposed to be no rental. You guys got denied. So that was already in place. So now it looks like could be a boarding house or another rental. I don't
That I
know
don't
what's
know.
going on.
I'm not
Family.
involved in that.
Two-family.
Or three, illegal 3?
They bought the house, I think, with a tenant in, I think. They don't live there, but they bought the house about 4 years, I believe. I don't have the deed in front of me, but they bought the house like that, as it is. They didn't create it. Of course, they bought the problems as well, but that's the way it was.
They bought the house with the tenants in it, you said?
Yeah.
Right.
The plans that were submitted to the zoning board show a den on the second floor,
Correct.
which is not what was reviewed for the architectural review. Architectural review showed 6 bedrooms on the second floor with no den. When there is a den on the second floor, it lends itself to an accessory.
Okay, you
There
can,
are regulations for the amount of bedrooms allowed for an accessory apartment permit, which this would not be permitted in this case. There'd be too many bedrooms for that.
okay.
So they need
We correct the plans accordingly, whatever you decide.
We need the plans to match, for one. We need the shower removed in the basement. I don't like these bedrooms. What else did it say on here?
Does the basement have an outside entrance, or?
No.
What about the garage?
The garage is a two-car garage. These people are in construction, and I put 8 feet high door for the garage. If you want me to make it 7, I'll do it 7.
Please.
I mean, they don't care anyway.
Okay, perfect. Was there a specific reason why you wanted an 8-foot, or just design?
Yeah, because they have those big cars, right?
the
And they
trucks.
wanted to fit the
Oh,
height.
okay.
I say, I don't know if they're going to approve it. I show it, but if they don't, I'll take it out.
Okay.
They're contractors, and they have those big vehicles.
So they're using, they're contractors and they're going to install commercial vehicles on that premise?
Not commercial, but they
Big
like.
trucks that need an 8-foot door. You don't need an 8-foot door for
Okay, we put it 7.
for a
I said it. I agree.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. So we're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. We're going to keep the record open so you can clear up the situation with the 2 different sets of plans showing different rooms and stuff like that.
It must be a confusion because the last submission I did, it was, I believe, in February. That's the plans I have.
Okay, well, evidently we have 2
Because
different sets
between
of
the
plans.
planning board and the architectural review and the BZA, I mean, I'll follow one set, whatever it has to be done.
At the same date, when I reviewed the plans that was reviewed for architectural review, they're not the same.
Okay.
One shows a den on the second floor, the ZBA one shows the den, the architectural review.
Okay, I take the den out and I don't know what space is going to be there.
To be the same plans that were submitted to architectural review.
I got it, okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next application is application 24106 of the Bradley Family Irrevocable Trust, property located in Copeg.
Yes, hi. I'm Kathy Manzioni. I am the trustee for my parents' house, and it was sold. I submitted all the documentation.
Hold on 1 second.
Okay.
Do you affirm to tell the truth?
Oh, yes.
Okay, now let me just read this stuff into the record, and
wait,
then
let
you
me
can
say
go,
my
okay?
address. Kathleen Manzioni, I'm going on.
Yeah, we got that.
Kathleen Manzioni, 225 Eaton Lane in West Islip is where I am. The property is 342 Lagoon Drive South in Copeg.
Okay.
Okay,
For the record,
sorry.
For the record, of the Planning Division memo dated July 10th, 2024, Environmental Control memo dated July 16th, 2024. So, on this property, there's a part of the property in the back that is attached to the house, and it's also, the part of it will be in a different zone, which would create the need for you to raise this house because it will be in a flood zone. If any part of that is attached, then, hold on.
I'm looking at the house right now.
Is the rear deck attached to the house?
No, it's kind of just a lower, they put some truck out there just to get to the dock.
Is that
That's all it is. And they're in a next zone.
No, it's okay.
They didn't even get hit by Hurricane Sandy. That little thing right there?
Yeah, that pointed bit of the deck barely touches the VE zone. So if that is structurally attached to the house in any way, it needs to be elevated.
Yeah.
Which I assume.
No, it's not. It's kind of, it goes.
You got to stay by the mic.
I'm looking at the picture there.
Hold on.
Okay, the back of the house, there's, on the bottom, there's pavers over there. And then you walk out and there's kind of a deck, but it's not, it's lifted, but it's not really that attached.
So here's the flood zone. So zone X,
Yep,
VE. So you see that little section right there? That would cause the entire house to be in VE zone. So as long as.
What is that?
That's the flood zone line.
No, but what is that? That's not part of the deck.
That's the,
No, that's part of, there's a paver in there. Those are pavers.
that rectangle right there. That's the composite deck.
Okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking over here.
No worries, no worries.
Okay.
So that little section, if that is attached to the house, it would bring the entire thing
Yeah.
into VE.
It has kind of a step down, like kind of a,
But is it like nailed to the other, like, is this deck connected to this deck? Like by wood?
I don't think so. I don't think so. It kind of has a side like that, and then this goes into this,
Right,
you know, the bottom of it.
right. If they're connected with, like, if they're nailed together,
Okay,
then they need to be cut back.
okay.
If they're completely independent, not connected in any way, then
Yeah.
they can stay. But
Okay.
if you want to avoid any problems whatsoever, you can cut that back just a
Okay.
little bit, and everything's,
Oh, okay.
everything's, you can
Okay,
keep that.
I'll
for
let
yourself.
them know, good. It's like this much. Okay. I was unaware of that.
Let me finish this. Suffolk County Planning Memo dated July 18, 2024, decision of local determination, take no position for or against. Survey by Peter J. Barbizon, dated April 26, 2024, tax map acting as an area map, and,
Chairman, there's 15 photographs.
okay, so we talked about that part. What else would you like to tell us about the
Okay.
application?
We're looking for permission to increase the area of the front yard. This is, okay, my parents bought the house 10 years ago. And this goes in line with the driveway. They have a boat, and they expanded the driveway on the left of the house. That's not, the house is over one. On the left of the house, they put, because their trailer kept on getting caught in the dirt with the boat, they didn't want to put the boat straight in front of the house, so they extended the driveway to the back so we could go on the tar, and it wouldn't get stuck. They kept on getting stuck, and they had a lot of problems with the trailer. So that's why they originally put that in. And that's why it's just for the boat that's on the left-hand side of the house, you know, to store it. Plus, they have like a gate that you don't see it from the road. So the boat goes back there and you don't see it from the road. So it made it much more appealing, curb appealing. The second thing is, permission from front yards driveway dimension. Okay, they put a deck on. And when they put the deck on the back, they didn't get a CO. So that's where I come in. This is how it all started. We were selling the house, or we sold the house, actually on June 7th. I did get permission from the owners to be here, and it was all notarized. And we didn't know it was too close. It's like a 6 foot. It's supposed to be 40 feet. It's 34 feet. But it's an upper deck. It's not a lower deck. The third one is south sideline. I think that's the shed, accessory building. So that shed was there. A lot of the stuff, except the driveway and the deck, a lot of the stuff was there when we bought the house, and that included the shed. And we didn't see anything entitled. This all came up when I filed for the CO for the deck. That's when everything came up. Same thing with, okay, that's the deck too. And then the last thing, on the bottom you wrote, they sent me a letter on April 17th about an accessory kitchen. The house was built in 1982 with that kitchen because they built it as a mother-daughter. The people that they bought it from 10 years ago had that apartment there. My parents never rented the apartment. They barely used that kitchen. They just left it there. But again, nothing came up on title until, I guess, when we put in the survey or whatever, and then it was said that it's an accessory apartment. And I says, well, it was like a second kitchen that we really didn't use, and they told me I had to get a permit. We were gonna go for the permit, but then I was told that it wouldn't do the new owners any good in my name. They have to do it. So I spoke to them. They're not even going to use the kitchen, so they're going to be taking out that accessory apartment. And then they told me they'd call the town and get, have somebody inspect it, it's going to be removed. But like I said, it wasn't used ever in 10 years as an apartment. And I think that's all I have. I'm trying to address all the things.
Turn the hearing over to Mr. Dellavecchia.
Good evening, how are you?
Good, how are you?
So we're gonna be removing the second kitchen, and then you'll get an inspection once it's all done?
The new owners are going to get that inspection.
Okay.
That's part of our agreement.
Gotcha. And now, the pavers and the shed. The pavers need to be cut back 2 feet from the south side property line. But I can see that the shed looks, I mean, it might be right at the end of the shed.
The walkway is the pavers.
Yep, and the
then a
pavers
little
go
bit
all the
in
way to the
front.
fence.
I don't think it goes to it's dirt by the fence.
According to the survey.
Yeah, according to your pictures, too.
Really?
Yeah.
Behind the shed?
Yep.
I didn't even realize that.
Yeah.
Okay. So you just need to take those pavers out?
Yeah, at 2 feet at minimum, and also the shed should be 10 feet away from the property line.
That's where we're coming here for the variance. That's,
Yeah.
I found all this out, and,
That, and then the driveway as well, and other things.
yeah.
Could we
yeah.
remove that shed?
We sold the house. I don't think they want to remove the, I mean, it's,
I mean, there's nothing in it, you know, it's not like, you know.
well, I'm not sure what they're putting in it.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure what they're putting in.
You're here representing them.
I'm representing them.
So
they
you make the
wanted-
decision that's good for you.
Yeah.
Otherwise, they should have been here representing themselves.
Yeah. They said they wanted the shed. That's all, they wanted the shed. And, I asked actually all the neighbors, is it an issue? And they said no. Because you can't see it. It's
I mean,
back.
you can see it, I drove by
No,
and
but,
saw it.
but it's back behind the fence.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, the shed has 2 different shingles, colors.
That's, part of it is from fading, from being on the water and the sun. Yeah, so they tried to kind of clean it up a little bit. It was an old shed. They just put some shingles on to make it look a
And
little
now
bit
for
better.
the 2 feet setback for the pavers, can you cut them back to 2 feet?
2 feet from, we could take,
Outside lot line,
yeah, we'd have to go behind the shed and take those out.
correct, 2 feet along the entire side, on all sides.
Yeah, it's only right by the shed.
Yeah,
Yeah. Or we could do that, yeah.
okay.
I'll get my brothers over there to do that. No problem.
All right, and now, you adamant about keeping the shed?
I would like to keep the shed because they wanted it. They wanted the shed. I think it was part of something that, attracted them to put their, their lawnmower and all their other stuff in there.
If it was ever to be taken down and rebuilt for whatever reason, would you agree to put it in a conforming location?
Absolutely. I did speak to them about that. Yes. That's not a problem.
Since it's sold now and there's no more boat for you guys, can we cut that driveway back to 50%?
That's one of the things they liked when they bought it, was that driveway.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, it's behind the gate, though.
Well, our issue is what's in front of the gate, not
Oh,
what's behind
that's
the gate.
because, it's behind.
I mean, when I was there were 2 cars there, and you could park 20.
They have
no
like
need.
4 cars.
Yeah,
They have-
there's plenty of room for 4 cars, even reducing it by 10%.
No, 4 cars, and then they have a boat. They have a boat. So I think it's hard to take away that,
When
the
was the
driveway is
driveway-
just to bring it to the side of the house.
When was the driveway put in?
The driveway was put in, well, they suffered a few years, so maybe it was put in 6 years ago, something like that, because I know for a few years they had problems with the trailer. They couldn't, it was all dirt on that side. And that's when they put it in so they could get it on the back. Yeah, you see, there's nothing there. They're putting it over the dirt and getting stuck.
The second story deck, would you agree to not further enclose it above or below?
Absolutely.
You already agreed to an inspection, and you also already agreed about rebuilding the shed, putting in a conforming location. Those are two other conditions that we would ask.
Yeah, if they go to take down the shed, they will put it in a conforming position, absolutely. Remove of the kitchen, they are doing, yes, they're well aware of that.
Gotta get an inspection on that then.
Yes,
Would you agree to no further expansion of the driveway?
yes, absolutely. Absolutely. We don't need any more driveway.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. We're going to close the hearing. We're going to reserve decision. You'll get the decision in the mail.
In the mail? Okay. So it would come to me
It will
at
come
my
to-
225?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and I'll make sure that they're aware of all of us.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Very much.
Okay, take this next one for me.
I just got stamped. This might be. Just got stamped.
No, you didn't.
I'm suing the town.
Next application is application 24-096. Greg Blum and Erin Going.
Good evening. I'm Michael Dunn, the architect at 256 Orinoco Drive, Brightwaters, New York, 11718.
And you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have Planning Division Memorandum dated July 10th, 2024. Department of Environmental Control Memorandum dated July 16th, 2024. If approved, this application may not result in any significant environmental impact. We have a survey by William T. Holgan dated 2/28/24, a tax map as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs and a site plan by Michael K. Dunn dated March 20th, 2024.
what would you like to tell us about this application?
Greg and Aaron plan on building a second story on their small one-story house now. So we are keeping in line with what's there, adding a front porch that would require the front yard setback. The left side is a small setback as it is, but we are keeping in line with that. We're not making it any worse. So we plan to open up the first floor to make it better for modern living and plan to add 3 bedrooms and 2 baths upstairs. We do want to comply with the deck, so any of that deck stuff would be removed and relocated to comply.
Okay, so you're willing to cut back the deck
Yes,
from the 0 clearance to a minimum of 2 feet back?
yes.
Okay, so we could eliminate those two. Existing. Okay, actually, all right, that's the only condition that we would ask that cut back. And the front porch not be further enclosed. You would agree to that also?
That's okay, yes.
Okay. Any other questions from the board? Okay. Excuse me? Yes. On application 24-096, I would like to delete variance number 4 and number 5.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay. I'm going to make a motion to approve application 24-096 as amended, and that the front porch not be further enclosed.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you very
Okay,
much.
Thank you very much. Have a good night.
Next application is application 24094 of Dwayne Gibson and Natasha Robinson, property located in Wheatley Heights. Name and address for the record, please.
Justin Phillips of NYCD Group, 118 Baker Court, Island Park, New York, 11558.
Okay, and you affirm to tell the truth?
I do.
For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 10th, 2024, environmental control memo dated July 15th, 2024. If approved, this application will not result in significant impact. A survey by Barrett, Bonucci, and Van Weel dated October 13th, 2023. I love that one. Tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 4 photographs in the site plan by Martin A. Pasante dated February 4th, 2024.
what would you like to tell us about the application?
Good evening, Board. I'm here tonight representing Dwayne Gibbons and Natasha Robinson, owners of 8 Homestead Drive, Wheatley Heights. We filed an application for the installation of a 15 by 30 rectangular in-ground swimming pool with electric heater and filter equipment, on-grade patio pavers, and a proposed outdoor kitchen, barbecue island, and TV wall. We are in receipt of the Planning Division's memorandum. I would like to just speak to the questions outlined in the memorandum, as our responses to those will pretty much answer our request for variance. So the first comment in the memorandum is the proposed pool is in a conforming location, 6 foot from rear and north side property lines. However, the proposed pavers will encroach on the north, south, and possibly the rear property lines. The pavers are proposed and therefore can easily be redesigned to conform to the 2-foot setback from all property lines. Thus, Planning Department recommends denial of variance request numbers 3 and 4. So in review of this with my clients, we agree to that. We'll gladly pull back 2 feet on all sides of the properties, therefore withdrawing our request for variances 3 and 4.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to delete variances number 3 and.
They did submit revised plans, so we want to wait for our plans now to review it, you can do it all at once then.
Okay, we'll do it that way then. Okay,
Yeah,
that's
we were in receipt of that letter yesterday, and I spoke with our
took care
clients.
of
We
it
did update them to reflect what
Okay.
we're agreeing to.
Okay.
So the second comment, there is an existing 12-foot by 10-foot shed on the north side. The shed's 120 square feet, which classifies as an accessory building per code. The submitted survey shows the said 7 feet from the north side property line. However, the plot plan scales to 5 feet from the property line. For the record, staff would ask that the applicant confirm the requested relief and if the shed could be relocated. So as per my clients, they're agreeing to relocate the shed to a 10-foot setback off the side property line. Therefore, we're withdrawing our request for that variance as well.
Good. That'll be on the revised plans, okay.
And
Down to 1, keep going.
yeah, and it's the important one. So the third comment from planning staff is the applicant's also requesting permission to increase the total building area from 15 to 30%. The proposed pool will total 450 square foot, while the proposed pavers estimate about 1,816 square feet. Planning staff would ask to describe the board's satisfaction, the proposed design of the rear yard. As per the submitted survey, there's currently a rear yard deck. Is the deck to be removed? Plot plan shows a break in the pavers in the middle of the yard. What is the intent of this space? Submit photographs to the board's review. So, as noted, we have revised our drawings to further clarify the planning staff's questions there. With removing that 2 feet of pavers along the side and rear property lines, we've actually reduced the request of lot coverage from 30% down to 28%. I know it's measly, but it is still a reduction from our original request. The survey does reference a rear wood deck. That deck is in ill repair and is proposed to be removed as part of our scope with the in-ground pool. There are no plans for a future deck. Actually, the deck was so decayed that the client has already removed a substantial portion. The footings are still there. Those have not yet been removed, as that requires excavation, and we're waiting for a permit to be issued for that. As for the breaks in the proposed pavers in the yard, That was us trying to come up with a path of having pavers that give them access to the pool from the house and from the pool to the kitchen island while limiting the lot coverage. So those breaks that you're seeing, our new drawing actually calls that out as grass area. So specifically because the pool's in the corner, we don't want to be walking through a whole yard of mud to get to the kitchen or into the house. So we were trying to keep the lot coverage at 30%, which is, you know, above the 15 that's allowed, but it's something that we've seen the board, you know, acquiesce to in the past. The residence, you know, it's in a Res A, 15% max lot coverage. The house itself is about almost 11%. When you add the pool, that's another 4%. So we're already maxed out on lot coverage. So we're doing our best to limit the hardscape and the lot coverage up from the patio. But, you know, again, this is a rather large property, and they're stuck holding to 15% of it. They want to enjoy it as a backyard within reason. So with that, we're at the request of a 28% lot coverage. Do want to point out that it is in character with the neighborhood. You know, we're not looking for anything ostentatious. We're not looking to have a full backyard of concrete. They just want to be able to utilize the outdoor areas in the summer months that we have available to us. So that's our case, and if you have any questions.
Not really. You kind of covered a lot of the stuff I was going to ask, so.
I do my best.
Any other questions from the board? Would anyone like to be heard on this application? For the record, there are none. Okay. Yeah, so if you get us the plans, we'll have it.
Plans are in, so
Okay,
can we
so
expect,
we'll-
I know Katie had mentioned that there's a hearing next week. Is it a possibility you could have your vote at that time, assuming staff does their review?
Yep.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so we're going to close the hearing, reserve decision. The record is still open for the plans, which you do have, but it'll stay open for the plans. So,
Okay,
all right?
thank you.
All right, good luck.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
evening.
That was an easy one. God's way, oh boy. This is always a problem. Next application is application 24109 of MG and JV Auto Inc., doing business as God's Way Auto, property located in Wyandanch. Name and address for the record, please.
Yeah, it's my address, right?
Yeah.
It's 134 Centerport Road in Centerport.
In Centerport, okay. And do you affirm to tell the truth?
Yes, I do. My
Oh.
name is Jesus Velasquez.
Missed that.
Jesus
got it?
Velasquez.
We're good? Okay. For the record, we have a planning division memo dated July 16, 2024, environmental control memo dated July 16, 2024. Fire marshal has a valid permit. Suffolk County Planning dated July 18, 2024, decision of local determination, take no position for or against. A survey by John Robinson dated October 22nd, 2012, tax map acting as an area map, and
Chairman, there's 5 photographs in the site plan by L. Bennett Design, dated 2018.
okay, what would you like to tell us about the application? What would you like to tell us about the application? So you're
we keep it the
here-
same for years. It's
So you-
nothing.
So
changed.
you're here to renew the special exception permit to operate a public garage, right?
Yes.
For auto repair, the last time you were here, we approved it for 2 years, and was also to allow outdoor storage of cars awaiting repairs and sales. So my questions to you is, plan staff would ask the applicant the reason as to why the items were not addressed and the inspection wasn't scheduled in the 2 years since the board's approval.
You never got a certificate of occupancy.
Yeah, the
when you
CO.
got your land
I'm sorry.
renewal. Never completed the process.
What was the question? So, I never complete the.
So last time you came to the zoning board, they
Huh?
granted you approval with a condition that you had to restripe the parking lot and you had to do.
Yes, we did already.
But you never called and got an inspection, you never got a CO, you never finished it.
Oh, that,
I had to have somebody come down and inspect it to see that you completed all the demands that they asked for.
Oh, I
And
didn't.
once
They
you did
didn't
that,
tell
then
me
they
that.
would
They
send you
said
the
they're gonna pass by when I fill out the application. They're gonna pass by and they're gonna see everything.
No,
But
you
we
have
did,
to-
You have to request it.
and we sent photos about the parking lot too.
But did you do the work that was required?
Yes.
You
we
did the work?
Yes.
So now it still needs to be inspected, so that's something that needs to be taken care of regardless, you know?
Also, I need
So
to make
somebody,
an
you gotta get
appointment.
somebody there to check it out from the town.
Oh, but they told me just the pictures, and I take pictures of the whatever they want.
Okay.
They want, you know, the lines for the parking.
Okay, so the other thing here is there were tires, automobile parts being stored in the rear yard. The automobiles are parked
Yeah,
on the
we-
front lawn.
Yeah, we clean up all the
You're
tires.
showing in the pictures that you have
It's-
cars
yeah.
parked on the front lawn.
Yeah, the
right there.
employer
You
just.
you can't have that.
Can't park on a lawn like that.
Yeah, because sometimes we parking because our neighbors some auto park, and they just park. If we don't, they just park and throw garbage in there. So that's why the employers they park the car. They said that's why we keep it. But it's I don't know what.
That's your property though, right? That's
Yes.
yours? And they're parking there illegally?
Yeah, they just park, and sometimes they leave cars for weeks, and that's why the
Grass
employee.
area there?
On your property?
Yes.
And you just allow that?
They just park, you know, and it's hard to find. Sometimes we call the police.
Have them removed.
Yeah, but it's up.
So those are not your cars that we're seeing in this picture?
No, those
parked on the
cars,
lawn?
yes. Some are like two of them is like employers' car. They park.
They can't,
Your employee.
Yeah, my employees.
they can't park.
So because they block the park for another, the other people from the auto parts, the customers, they just park the cars in there and they throw garbage in there. They say, and that's why they park the car in there.
You have to police that area. You're responsible for that area.
Gotta get that straightened out one way or another.
I can put a fence on it, right? It's,
You have to conform to the codes to put a fence. So
To-
you need to get a permit to put fencing.
to put a fence on. Okay, I'm gonna do that.
You have a site plan, and you have to comply to that site plan. So what you submitted to the board is how your site needs to operate. It's not operating like that right now.
Okay, so I need to address.
Plan, and your business has to look like how that plan shows. The cars can only be parked where you're showing on the plan, where they're in parking spaces. It can't be on the sidewalk, it can't block the front entrance, it can't be on the front lawn.
You only store cars where it's permitted outside storage as per your plans.
Yeah. Okay.
You understand that?
Yeah, I
You can't
understand.
park on the grass in the front there. Can't have your employees park there. And you should not allow anyone else to park there either.
Parking. I'm gonna see if I can apply for a fence because they don't listen. I'm gonna fence it out.
Okay, you got a couple of things you gotta take care of here, obviously, okay? And taking care of, running your business according to the site plan, what we're talking about with the cars and where they're parked and where they're stored, and also completing the process for the certificate of occupancy. You gotta get that taken care of. So do we,
What we need is, because the use expired, we need another decision from this board, and then we need an inspection. But as planning recommended, the site right now is not in compliance. We would not recommend approval at this point.
yeah,
So if the board decides to approve down the road, then he would need the inspection.
okay. We send somebody, he doesn't have to get somebody to go out?
No, you have the schedule the inspection.
You have to schedule.
After a decision was made, yes.
So if you clean up the area, get those cars moved, ask,
I will,
and then you request an inspection.
Yeah, that's all taken care. The tire,
We
they
just
not
want to
there.
see a nice, clean,
Neat.
Yeah.
operation. That's, you know,
You
Makes
operate
it all the
according to
better.
the site plan, what you what you're
Yeah.
supposed to be doing there.
Okay.
makes it all the better for your business also.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
You have it cleaned up now?
Yes.
It's all cleaned up, so
It's
if we
all
go
clean.
there, everything is taken care of?
Yeah. I had a, in the mechanic shop, we keeping cars for parts. We throw it out. We throw like 8 cars because that's,
8 cars stored just for parts.
yeah, but we throw it out already.
With everything.
Yeah.
So now you're just storing movable vehicles.
Yes, movable vehicle.
Registered vehicles.
Yes.
Not unregistered.
We are dealer too, so we have like,
Have a dealer's license for that location?
yes. And we have like 8 cars, no plates.
Dealers? Okay, so
2 weeks?
2
We
weeks.
give you 2 weeks to make sure everything's taken care of, cleaned up and stuff like that?
Yeah, like I said, right now it's clean. Everything is. We throw all the cars, we throw all the tires. We no longer sell used tires, so we throw everything out.
So if they drive by tomorrow, there won't be any cars parked on the front lawn?
Yeah, I'm gonna tell my employees now don't park in it.
Now and forever, don't.
Forever,
Yeah,
yeah.
right, not just for tomorrow.
Yeah. I'm gonna try to fill it up the application to do the fence because like I said, my neighbors, they have a customer and they park all over the place. They block
So
the.
why don't we give you a week just to conform to that? Now,
Okay.
Make
Don't
sure
pa-
everything's perfect. How's that?
Definitely, I will.
And then we'll come by and.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
And just, if the board does make a decision, if they approve you, you have to make sure you complete it with the building department. You'll need a building inspector to go out there after you get the decision in the mail,
Okay.
okay?
Definitely, I'm gonna do. All right. Thank you.
Thank you. Close the hearing, reserve decision. That concludes the